Strange mod just dropped and people have been asking me to cover it, and after doing a bit of digging, I learned that there is some interesting lore surrounding this mod. Now, some of you may have noticed this mod is technically a Pibby mod, but with a bit of a twist. Anyone that has watched the Sesame Street knows that it's not actually a cartoon and has real life people on set controlling the puppets and even interacting with them. So in order for the darkness to corrupt Sesame Street, it basically had to wait for an episode to air and then start corrupting the characters that way. But it seems like the darkness is getting stronger because if the episode isn't cut off fast enough, the darkness can escape the digital world and start to corrupt humans that are watching this show. And this is extra devious when you think about the fact that most of the people who watch Sesame Street are children. And as we see in the mod, when the darkness corrupts somebody, it can actually kill them when it leaves their body. Funny enough, the darkness in this mod actually acts like the cordyceps fungus, meaning that it infects its host, drains it of all its life, leaving it as just a husk controlling its dead body until it's done with it. And this is actually what happens to Oscar in the mod. At first we see him singing with the Cookie Monster and Elmo, and then he suddenly vanishes. And this is because the darkness is done with him and has moved on to find a new host. And while we don't get to see it in the mod, it seems that Big Bird does end up getting corrupted as well. There is a cutscene in the game files that actually shows how Bert and Ernie get away, but Big Bird isn't so lucky. Now, from my understanding, the reason that Big Bird is caught is because he thinks that Elmo has broken free of the darkness at this moment. But it was actually just a trick to make him hesitate, which is why the darkness was able to latch on to his foot. And even though he tells Bert and Ernie that he'll be okay, we all know that he's actually toast. Now, during the song, we also see a character named Zoe have like a one-on-one moment with Elmo, and she is basically trying to pull him out of the darkness. But this is also when we see that Elmo has a second, more monstrous form, and he actually ends up just outright killing Zoe. Now, another thing that people were curious about is where's Boyfriend and who else survived in the Sesame Street universe. And as far as I know, Boyfriend and Pico will both appear in the mod in a later update. I say this because when looking at the wiki, we see Boyfriend's name pop up, and it also says that he'll end up being corrupted, although I don't know how it happens. And we also have a picture of Pico looking like he's ready for war, and we know that he will be battling against at least one character, which is Bear from Bear in the Big Blue House. Most of you are probably too young to remember that show. And as far as the survivors for the Muppets go, it seems like Kermit, Robin, Scooter, and Beaker survived the corruption and may appear in later updates. And something that I'm really looking forward to is Miss Piggy, because it seems like the darkness did get her and her design looks pretty awesome. While I can only find a sketch, it's basically her as like a marionette with claws, and it reminds me a lot of Tails doll, so I'm excited to see what this one looks like when it's fully fleshed out. With that being said, this mod looks like it has a lot more coming in the future, so I'll make sure to cover the next update as well. But with that being said, check out this video on the screen here, subscribe to Become a member of the orseofkorse, and we'll see you tomorrow with another one. Peace, peace.